Should I take this off?
Hi, I'm AJ or Angelica, whichever one you prefer. This is actually my first YouTube video that's, not a short. And I honestly didn't know what type of video to make. I was gonna make one for my latest painting, like the process, but I genuinely wasn't bothered to film a whole time lapse and like a process video for like
40 plus hours.
But it's okay. I decided that I was going to show you guys my oil paintings and basically my art and try to explain why I painted it and my intention. So yeah, the first painting that I did is actually, I do not have that physically. I lost it somewhere. Basically I cut it up and I rolled it, and then I don't know where it went, but I'm going to show you guys a picture of my first oil painting, which is a master reproduction of, I don't know what the title was. I'm gonna put the original here and my attempt on the side so you guys can see how bad. I honestly don't know why I picked such an ambitious painting to work on for like the first painting ever. It's not just my first oil painting ever, but it's technically my first serious painting ever. That was not a painting I did from like secondary school. If you guys can see the stages of my painting, really embarrassing, but we persevered and the result isn't
Terrible.
so. Now my second painting, I have it. It is my second painting, but my first original. I have it here. I don't know if you guys can see because of the glare. This is Among Drowning Souls. I really like the colors of this one. I don't know, it's such a big jump from like portraiture to like a flowing figure and like a thematic background. So as you can see, it's very religious, mythological, epic sort of theme. Honestly, the premise of this painting is kind of basic. It's a savior figure reaching out into the corrupted world, as you can see by the hands, trying to save them. But of course, she gets stained by the blood of the corrupt. It's very apocalyptic. I think I like it. I feel like it would look better on a bigger canvas. This one is actually 20 by 30. It's very close to an A4. I don't know. Now my third painting, The Ritual. Can you guys see? I'll put like a picture just in case. Also the same size, because I actually bought like a 6-pack of these 20 by 30 canvases to like start out. Again, I don't know why I picked such an ambitious and complicated subject matter. This is like a triangular composition of the pomegranate, the woman, and her, her arms. I'd say this is more of like a feminist type of painting, if you guys don't know the whole symbolism of like pomegranate. Temptation, consequences, mess. Yeah, I don't know. And the whole premise of this is I just wanted to paint like a man's dominating presence without actually showing him. If you guys can spot the Easter eggs of his tie, his watch, and like that wedding picture in the background. I wish I glazed this a bit more, as in like kind of make it dissolve in the background, because you can really see it, like it pops out too much. Long story short, there's a lot of symbolism with like Persephone, Eve from the Bible, where she eats the fruit and she's doomed to a fate of marriage, being a wife that's locked her into a certain role. And this is kind of like that. Fourth painting is an upgrade. This one is The Cost of War. I'm honestly quite proud of this for a fourth painting. Face, I really like how flushed the cheeks are. I'm not sure what happened between like this and this, because the skin here has like more depth compared to like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I learned something on TikTok and then like I subconsciously painted that technique, whatever. It's a very vulnerable moment, The hand reaching out, the woman's hand, the care, the affection, and the vulnerability, the stare. I like it. Now the fifth painting. This is Little Apple with Big Feelings. It's very fun. To be honest, this one was actually supposed to be something else, like another realism portrait. I got really frustrated why it wasn't going the way I wanted it to, so I like literally put a lot of linseed oil and like erase everything. So instead I painted a really fun piece that's slightly more impressionistic. If you guys can see the texture, or maybe you can't. It doesn't look like an apple. I don't know, a cherry? It's a fruit. Okay, I don't know. Nothing else that I can say. I think this was more of like a study on like light and the variation of colors.
Yeah.
Now my sixth painting, this is Moonwater. I actually painted this like straight after the fifth painting. I think in the same hour. I was on a roll. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why I was producing so much. But again, this is still very impressionistic in terms of texture and brushstrokes, wild and loose. I think doing those two studies made me like chill out a little bit and not put a lot of pressure, because I was like, oh, I've been like producing these thematic pieces that are like full of symbolism and whatnots. And so I think that's why doing those two paintings really helped me with like this fresh perspective. Now the seventh painting, I have to get on a chair and stand up because it's like up there. Yeah, that one. Got it. Now this is my seventh painting, the Unspoken on A2. Again, very ambitious because of the size jump from literally this to this. This one is a little more restrained, not just in terms of like the theme, it's a lot more smoother and blended, which was what I wanted this piece to be. I think the addition of this rose really adds like some character to it, just because then this would just be like a generic portraiture, which this kind of is. But you know, I really wanted to try something new with more subjects. In this case, there's a man and a woman. Not too bad. I think this was like actually the first painting that my parents and like a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, wow. But I think maybe because of the sheer size and like how people seem to like worship realism. My parents, when they first saw this, they're like, how the frick did you do that? Now the eighth painting is this one on A3. This is called The Weight of a Gentle Life. I like how different this is compared to the others, and I think this may be my favorite painting that I've ever done because of the colors, especially the pink by the boat, and then it goes upwards to like a sunset. It looks very muted, right, in terms of the colors, and very worn out. I made a TikTok video about this is what a well-lived life looks like. It's like that vibe of when you're old, when you're 60, 70, and you sit outside at your porch and think about how you lived your life, and there's a sort of not just relief, but contentment and satisfaction. The hazy memory of life, you know, as you grow older. I might just be talking out of my head. That's the intention that I painted this with. Now, the ninth painting, I feel like a lot of you guys have seen. I have to once again step back and get the painting from up there. Oh, okay, I can do this. Got it. Now this is my ninth painting, The Sorrow of the Lamb on exactly A1, gradually like increasing the size. Again, this is very similar to the previous portraiture that I did. Genuinely, again, this was very ambitious for me to paint because, I mean, the sheer size of this is insane. And as you can tell, I don't really like to paint devotional, pretty art. I instead wanted to focus more on his humanity instead of his divinity, especially through his eyes, because I think it's really important to remember that even if you're not religious. And I think that's the beauty of religious art, why it's so like valuable, still valuable among like private collectors, because you don't have to look at it through a lens of faith. Acknowledge that he was a historical figure who did truly suffer. I think that's why I do resonate a lot with religious art. I don't know, that's just me. What do you guys think? Okay, back to being closer to me. JK. This one is called Infatuation. And as you can see, the brush strokes, once again, a little messier, wild, loose. Teeth look freaking rotten because that's the whole point. This one was also like a refresher, or not a refresher, but like a small study, because you know when you paint big paintings, you get kind of not tired of it, but you burn out, and so you want to do something a little more chill. Infatuation, basically the dangers of obsession. It's very visceral. I love that word, I don't know why. It's very visceral, like body horror type of vibe. You're gonna see that in my latest painting, so stay tuned for that. Okay, the next one, you guys can see right there. Now this one is also a portraiture in the classical realism style, or semi-realism. Now this one obviously is of Mother Mary, and if you guys have noticed, they're both wearing the same color to symbolize their shared grief and their mother and son bond. A lot of devotional art of Mother Mary that you see, she wears like this either blue or white veil. I wanted to do something a little different. I'm not saying that I'm the first one who depicted her sorrowful. There's a lot of examples that I'm gonna put here. And if you guys can tell, her skin is a lot more smoother than the Jesus painting to achieve that like look of delicateness. Guys, this is really heavy by the way. I think this wood is significantly heavier. It's actually, what is it called again? A diptych, the Sorrow of the Lamb and the Mother of Sorrows. If I get lucky, I plan to sell them together. And so when you see them side by side, it's like, oh, I don't know, wishful thinking. Okay, time for my 12th painting. Y'all, I'm really excited to take this off from the canvas. Technically, I don't need to, but I just really want to like hold it physically. And so this is my 13th painting. I'll put a picture up close if you guys can't see it this well. This one is Death of a Daughter. I'll let you guys see it up close. I'm actually pretty proud of the wounds, especially the one for the cross and then her hands. You guys can't tell by the title, this is not a physical death, but more so a spiritual death of a role, aka the daughter. I need to put this down, I'm sorry, this is really heavy, but I'll put a picture here. It is based on a turbulent / toxic relationship between mother and daughter, and the intergenerational trauma and the cycle of pain. The cross necklace, which isn't meant to be a symbol of hope. The cross doesn't necessarily glimmer. Well, that's all of my 13 paintings that I've done. I hope to paint some more and show you guys the process. I think the next ones will be a little smaller, so we don't have to film like 40 hours of footage. Because you know what? Filming while painting is like actually double the task, double the hard work.
It actually slows down my painting so much, because like I'm always looking back to say like, is this one, because sometimes it's like, oh, score, and then I have to get back and literally like delete so many of my shit, and it's been like 20 minutes, and I have to put it back, and then go back to painting, and it ruins the rhythm, and then...
Skill issues. Maybe I just have to buy storage again. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed all those paintings and my lame explanations. Obviously, all of these are open to interpretation, and I would love to hear what you guys think of them and what are your favorite paintings from all these. So I'm still learning, obviously. I'm not a master yet. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully. Bye!